Welcome back to Heavy Duty, where we bring you the meanest, most unique machines on the road. Today, we've got something different, an American classic that dared to be different. This is the 1983 Pontiac Fiero, a car that was ahead of its time, misunderstood by many, and now, a cult favorite among enthusiasts. When Pontiac rolled this out in the early 80s, they had a vision, a small, mid-engine sports car that was affordable, efficient, and fun to drive. That was a big deal back then. America didn't really do mid-engine cars. But Pontiac took the gamble, and the Fiero was born. This little two-seater looked like nothing else on the road at the time. The sharp angles, the low-slung stance, and those signature pop-up headlights, this was Pontiac's attempt at a budget-friendly exotic. It had fiberglass reinforced body panels, which helped keep the weight down, and the design was undeniably cool. The rear end had those wide taillights stretched across the back, giving it a futuristic look. And let's not forget the side air intakes, functional and stylish, feeding air to the mid-mounted engine. Step inside, and you're greeted by a cabin that screams 80s. The wraparound dash, the squared-off gauges, and the deep bucket seats, it all felt like Pontiac was aiming for a fighter jet cockpit. It wasn't the most luxurious interior, but it had a driver-focused design that made you feel connected to the car. One of the coolest details? The steering wheel and gauge cluster, which had that unmistakable 80s Pontiac styling. And if you got a manual transmission, you were in for a fun, engaging drive. Now, let's talk about what really made the Fiero unique, its mid-engine setup. This was Pontiac's first and only production car to feature a mid-mounted power plant. The base model came with a 2.5-liter Iron Duke 4-cylinder, making around 92 horsepower, not exactly a rocket, but it got the job done. Later models had the option of a 2.8-liter V6, bumping power up to 140 horses, giving the Fiero some much-needed punch. But it wasn't just about straight-line speed. The mid-engine layout gave this car surprisingly good balance. The weight distribution made for sharp handling, and on the right set of twisty roads, the Fiero felt planted. Sure, it wasn't a Ferrari, but for an affordable American sports car, it held its own. Pontiac originally marketed the Fiero as a fuel-efficient commuter, but enthusiasts saw its potential as a true sports car. Over time, the Fiero developed a reputation for being a great platform for custom builds, engine swaps, and even full-blown supercar replicas. People have stuffed everything from turbocharged 4-cylinders to massive V8s into these cars. Some have turned them into Ferrari replicas, while others have pushed their performance far beyond what Pontiac ever imagined. The 1983 Pontiac Fiero was a car that took risks. It wasn't perfect, it had its flaws, from early reliability issues to heat buildup in the engine.